tradition I celebrate is I have Thanksgiving with my family.
Macaroni and cheese because it's very good. I dream about it all the time.
Me and my dad, we just go to Coit Tower, look at the view, and just take pictures. And that's his special place, I guess. Me and my mom is the only people that he took there.
I guess a tradition, I like celebrating holidays, and I like celebrating birthdays a lot.
Established in 1848, San Francisco's Chinatown is the largest and oldest neighborhood of its kind in the country, drawing more visitors annually than the Golden Gate Bridge. And its traditions can be summed up in one word. That one word, fascinating. The smell of Chinese food dominates most of Chinatown, where it's the sweet smell of fresh egg tarts from Golden Gate Bakery, or the savory stir-fry sizzling from Chinatown restaurants. Traditions and food keeps families and connections continuously growing. What do you remember growing up?
I remember eating a lot of amazing food Saturday or Sunday mornings when the family was not working. We'd wake up early in the morning, go to Chinatown, and go out and eat.
Thinking about like your childhood and now, how do you think that your thoughts about your traditional foods change?
I think as I'm older now, I'm in my mid-30s, one of the things that I really think about is how do I keep the tradition of food and recipes that my grandma had.
Like, Chinese food really helped you bond with people.
Yes. One of my favorite dishes I brought today is siu mai, which is an open-faced pork dumpling.
Maybe we could try?
Yeah, we should dig in.
All right, you go first.
I'm gonna grab the one that's on the corner with my hands. Usually I'll eat it with chopsticks, but sometimes you just wanna eat with your hands. Cheers.
Chinatown is a unique neighborhood defined by its people, its institution, and its history. A history of welcome, rejection, and acceptance. To understand San Francisco Chinatown is to eat in San Francisco Chinatown.
I think it's important to support all the mom and pop stores out there, all the hole-in-the-wall restaurants, and even emerging restaurants that come up. I think it's a great way to pay homage to our family, our traditions, and our food. Growing up, my brothers and my sister would gather around the kitchen table and we would make this peanut coconut puff. This particular dish, along with dim sum, has been something that's been traditional in my family. It reminds me of the times that we all got together and go out. All the laughs, lively conversations that we have reminds me of my roots, our heritage, our family tradition, and our stories.
The more I walk through Chinatown, it becomes apparent that the traditions that thrive here are what preserve the culture of this beautiful district. Like all other American neighborhoods, Chinatown has been developed by the will and energies of immigrants.
Given that my first language was Chinese, my mother just came to this country. She didn't speak English, so my first language was Chinese. So when you talk about tradition, I feel like what I knew was what I grew up with, which was very much everything that my mom brought to me.
What's your favorite food tradition?
I love food, and growing up with a mom who was very resourceful. We didn't have a lot of money, but she is an amazing cook. Just eye level to the table, and as I looked, it was this exciting moment where I saw rows and rows and rows of dumplings. Dumplings were a way to bring everybody together and to talk and to make the dumplings and then to actually eat them. And it was to bring in the new year and to celebrate family and to celebrate, the fortune, not just wealth and gold or money, but in life.
Talking about dumplings make me kind of hungry. How about you?
I'm starving. Can I show you how to make some?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's go do that.
All right.
Go Dubs.
I am ready. I'm just looking at the camera.
What is your name?
You should have said that.
As you were saying, I could just see you smiling. Like, you just lit up as I was saying.
It helps you know your family better.
Okay, now you do the thing.
Scene one, take one.
The holiday tradition is pretty consistent. My older brothers and I, we always have to wake up with our pajamas on. My mom lays out all of our Christmas gifts like she's like like Santa Claus mixed with like an interior designer. My dad like wakes us up with Boyz II Men's Christmas album, and he makes us Hollingsworth eggs every day for breakfast. My mom's already got the cookies on deck. And then we have to, rush and exchange gifts so that we can go to our 2 o'clock Christmas Day movie.
One family/friend tradition I would do every year is go every August 16th anywhere that has video games, and I would always just play with my friends, and we'd win almost everything.
Who wouldn't love spending time with your family, because like it's your family and you obviously have to love them somehow.
Me and my family, we get to like come together again and just have a really fun time.
I do think family traditions are important because you get to connect with your family on like a different level. You're like not just like talking to them, but you're actually like spending time with them and getting away from everything else.
I think that they help to formulate who you are as an older person, right? So the family tradition that I have of watching a lot of movies and cooking and having conversations, I think has spilled over into like my adult life now.
It gives you time with your family. It really sets a firm foundation that your family is valuable and it's first and it's prioritized, that you care about it. I feel like anytime you spend, a large amount of time decorating and setting food up and getting your house open to welcome other people, to celebrate a certain holiday or something that you really care about, it really sets this tone that, family is number one, that family is priority. So for me, it's really, really important to have a family tradition.
Our world is full of traditions, each with their own unique aspects of taste, smells, and feels. Most of our traditions share a common goal: remembrance. The two special holidays we decided to highlight are Diwali and Dias de los Muertos. Diwali is a celebration that originates in India, symbolizing the victory of light over darkness. We spoke to two people who are very well acquainted with the Diwali tradition.
I've been celebrating Diwali my whole life. I actually can't remember a time where Diwali or any of the celebrations and the lead-up events were not a part of my life. I look back and I think of some of the most amazing memories I had as a child, as a teenager, as an adolescent, as a young adult, as a full-grown adult.
Does not matter where you come from, what religion you belong to, what culture you belong to, but light is very important for all of us, and so we celebrate with that meaning and with understanding.
Diwali is my favorite time of the year. It's the best time of the year ever. I think it's so fun. I think there's so many things to do. like lighting diyas in the doorways of our home or in the windows, just offering a place and pathway for light. Also decorating rangoli, a design pattern that you would place more so on the foyer or entranceway of your home, and it's created with powder or with colored rice, and you just create an artistic pattern and it's lit around with diyas.
Diwali itself has many meanings, many significance, and how important the light is in our lives, everybody's life. It's important to celebrate Diwali, which brings the joy, which brings the celebration, which brings the happiness.
The second tradition we covered was Dia de los Muertos, which means Day of the Dead. This tradition originated in Mexico. While Diwali is the festival that embraces light over darkness, Dia de los Muertos celebrates life after death. We researched the tradition and were able to interview 2 Latinx people who carry this tradition within their family.
I identify as a Salvadoreña and native to San Francisco. My parents are from El Salvador, specifically Chalatenango, but I was born here in the Bay Area, so I identify with both, being from El Salvador, Chalatenango, and also being San Franciscan.
So I was born in Suchitepeques, Guatemala, and I live now in San Francisco, California. I would say like I grew up in a traditional way.
I do celebrate Day of the Dead in many forms. With our group Danza Silali, we host a Dia de los Muertos ceremony every year. The way it works is that we start at night and then it goes on till 8 in the morning, and we dance at sunrise with the night full of song and prayer, creating a beautiful altar full of photos of people that have passed away.
It's native from Latino people, and it is used to remember people that are not here anymore with us. It's a good connection with my roots, actually.
Every single component, to food, to items to place on the altar, to flowers, to making carnations and everything. There's just so many components to this ceremony, and I think it's one of the biggest and most important ceremonies that we have, is to honor the people that have passed these traditions to us.
I have remembered a lot of my family in my country that has passed away, including my great-grandfather or my aunt.
So when I was growing up, my mom, she was cleaning houses, doing bag-breaking labor to support all of us. And so we did have this wonderful babysitter who's a family friend. Her name is Tita. She would make, I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I'm okay. Day of the Dead has definitely connected me to my roots and my indigenous spirituality. I just think the importance of honoring those that have passed, who have passed down those traditions to you, has definitely left a connection. The moment when you light a candle for someone that has passed away is where I feel the connection. Leaving that glass of water, leaving the plate of food, that's when I feel that connection.
One of the things that stand out to me is the honoring of family, the honoring of legacy, and the understanding of truth and peace, and enforcing light into moving forward and paying tribute to those that have made such a large impact in our lives.
It is very, very important for all of us to relate to and connect and remind ourselves that how every element is important for all of us to celebrate.
In San Francisco, the cultural traditions are so different. In my country, they had different ways to celebrate a culture, so here's an amazing way to describe our countries and bring it into a new country in a new language.